So now it's basically, she cleaned it up only to repeat the cycle all over again after the fake apology that she did when she was saying how sorry she was and, you know, throwing the fake tears. You know, vidIQ gave us a prime example of that. But he also said in the end to just simply tell the truth. Well, unfortunately, with this lady, she is a scammer to her core. Now, she's trying to replace the $25 shout outs because, one, she's not giving people their shout outs that paid for the shout outs. And then the shout outs that she's doing isn't really getting the results that she promised that it will get. You know, eyes on your channel, people to subscribe to your channel, people that will come from her channel to yours. But it always provided her $25. So of course, now she has to change it up just a tad bit. And how does she does this? She do it by getting $25 for her weight loss program. And instead of really giving it all to you at once, she's gonna break it up. Now, I would say this: if it's an actual digital product, then I don't see absolutely nothing wrong with what she's doing as far as doing a weight loss manual in order to show you. But here's where I believe that is just a continuation of the shout out scams. Well, the first thing that clued me on it was who she said sent her $25 in order to get this weight loss products off and going. Again, it was 4 Shades of Us. Remember back when the shout out started, who won a shout out? It was 4 Shades of Us who sent her the initial $25 that she didn't even have a clue as to why she was sending the $25. Because she didn't ask. But in fact, she did. She posted on her community board because it was 3 days prior to her birthday. And she put her Cash App up there and she was telling people to send her money for her birthday. So what ended up happening was 4 Shades of Us sent her $25. And then on her $25 Cash App, she just happened to mention if she would send her a shout out. And then therefore the $25 shout out was started based off of DoorDash getting $25 from 4 Shades of Us from nowhere. But it wasn't from nowhere. You asked for money for your birthday. So that's where it came from. And that's the part that you're leaving out. Because y'all, how did she even get her Cash App to begin with if she never asked for the Cash App? Because her Cash App wasn't just willy-nilly out there for all to see. She plastered it on her birthday announcement to let everybody know that it was her birthday in order to get money, which that in itself isn't wrong, y'all. Putting your Cash App isn't wrong, as far as a lot of content creators put their Cash App out there. You know, if somebody wants to send her money, so be it. Go ahead and send her money if that's what you're trying to do. But if you're trying to get money because you thinking it's going to help you in various ways that she's trying to say it will, then you're wasting your money because you're not going to get that. And in fact, so many people are still waiting for their shout outs that never received the shout out. So once again, 4 Shades of Us, according to DoorDash, is the one who is triggering the weight loss plan. She sent her the first $25. Now, the way it appears, it's starting to appear that whoever this 4 Shades of Us is in conjunction with her in order to kick off all her scams, because it's always 4 Shades of Us that is leading the brigade out on all these miraculous scams she keep coming up with. So it makes one believe that they're a part of her scams, or either she's using this person or this family to persuade others to do so. And I'm more so on the side of she's using this lady and her family to persuade others to buy into whatever it is that she's doing. Now, like I said, if it's a legit and it is an actual weight loss manual, because she did have to lose some weight before, she had her surgery or didn't have her surgery, because on Instagram, when they was finding her out to be a scammer, she had weight loss surgery. But by the time the story got to us, it switched and she lost 100 pounds and she just raised money to tighten her skin. So that's where the whole discrepancy is on that. But far as this new weight loss manual, so to speak, for guess what? $25 is going to replace the shout outs, where she doesn't have to really promise you absolutely anything, because all she's doing really is telling you what she did in order to lose her weight. But that's where the facade comes in again, because that's not what all you did to lose the weight. You did other stuff in order to do so. But hey, she can write out a manual all she wants and give it to the people. Let's just hope that this time it is legit, because if not, then the new weight loss manual will be no more than the curl smiler all over again. She created a product, didn't deliver on the product, but got the money and left people without their product. So hopefully she actually has a manual that she's going to give out to you all. And hopefully, it will be beneficial to your weight loss if that's what you're trying to do. But what it appears she's doing is she's just she cleared out all her videos, so that way it'll be harder to prove what people are saying far as the constant scams that she's doing. And then she's just going back and she's doubling down on them, but this time making it better, so that way it'll be hard to see through the fluff. And if you didn't know her past, then you wouldn't be able to coincide this together. But the problem with this is too many people have the evidence to say otherwise, and they know. So for the newer people coming in, you're going to be deceived in thinking, because of that 76,100 subscribers that she has still not grown from. She's still at the same pace, that there must be some truth in what she's saying. And some of this just have to be correct. But in fact, it's all just scams. She is a master manipulator and a narcissist. Like when she gave that apology, matter of fact, before she gave her apology, I said she only had one more stage left, and it was an apology phase, and she halfway did it, but then doubled back down and came back and actually did an apology video. Then also said that she didn't want to give the illusion as if she was ripping people off by asking for $25 for the shout out. But now it's coming back with the $25 weight loss plan that she's going to give you. So hopefully, she actually is going to give you a plan that will actually help you. Now, whether or not it's her plan or not, that's still to be determined. But we know her track record. We know what she does. And she's not going to give up any money that is potentially going to be placed inside her pocket. So we just need to watch and see what the people say, because this time, unlike the shout out, she doesn't have to advertise that she sent anybody out anything. So it will be a little hard to prove whether or not she did or she didn't. All she simply have to do is say they're lying because I sent it to them. And all the people got to say is, I never got my product, but I sent you my $25. Unlike the shout outs where we could see she's not actually shouting out because she's not fulfilling what she said she was going to do, we can't really see whether or not she's sending these people out a bogus weight loss plan or not, or if it's even worth $25. So let's see, because you can go get a book on weight loss for $10 or $15. I've always said, whatever you're charging for your product, make sure it has that value within the content. Now, whether the content is worth $25 or not, or she just simply making it $25 to replace the shout outs that you may never get, even though you paid her for. Hey, YouTube will never know whether or not it's going to be legit or not, because this particular scam here is going to be a little bit harder to prove, since, you know, we don't know whether or not she sent it or not, and you will not be able to prove it. The only thing you will be able to see is people complaining that they did not get the product, or the product didn't hold what it said it was going to hold with inside it, such as when she did the YouTube tips for $19 and an editing course for $27. So just use caution whenever you're purchasing something from her, because her reputation precedes itself as a YouTube scammer, and I will say she is a scammer to the core, because that's just who she is. She's not going to do the right thing. She's just going to look for various ways to continue to take advantage of people, and if people do not become wise, then they will be continuing to take advantage of. I just feel really sorry for the ones that are just seeing her for the first time that do not know. Now, I know she had made another video about people saying that they didn't have a credit card in order to make the $25 purchase or whatnot. So she doubled back and said, send it to her Cash App or her Venmo or whatnot, and then she'll send it out to you. But I would do this, y'all. If you can't pay on your Cash App for the product, which I don't understand why you can't, because a Cash App is just simply a card, just like anything else. Put the Cash App card inside there. You don't need a credit card in order to make the purchase. You can do it based off the Cash App card. Other than simply, she just wants your money right now, so let me throw my Cash App back out there. Once again, if you want to support this woman and all her scams and her lies, that is completely up to you in order to do so. But if you want to learn how this whole thing began, from the $25 shout outs to the $200 cash review, at the end of this video, so you can click on it and see it for yourself, how it all started and how she's just keeping it rolling. But DoorDash, you need to do the right thing. Stop scamming people. Stop coming up with all these miraculous scams. Leave the word grateful alone. I thought me and my daughter had brought it back to the platform for the way it should be used, but you are destroying that word nevertheless. But anywho, as always, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you're not. Y'all thought I was done with the about to say god darn shout outs. Let's get that out of my mouth. I'm trying to act like us sometimes when I be doing the into thoughts. But you thought I was done with the exposure. Oh, absolutely not. Like I told you, I do them, but I do them the correct way. But as always, be your brother and your sister keeper. Keep God first. Stay in tune to my channel so I can keep you informed with the real up-to-date information on anyone on this platform, really, that is trying to take advantage of people. As always, toodles.